Hello,
So, how's it going?
hello, YouTube. How are you? Oh, you hear something? You hear my? I have this machine going.
Oh, I also have my like mini cooler air conditioner thing because my office is in the hottest part, and right now we have a 90-degree heat wave, so it's like crazy hot right
Okay.
now. So I have air conditioning, but it's like I'm in this apologize now because
Oh,
like
no
the
problem. No
residual
problem.
heat's in my office.
Oh, there.
So and also I have like a big whirring CPU. Hey, Katie.
Hi.
Hey, K-pop. Hey, how are you, K-pop?
I'm alright. I had like about 20 minutes of fighting in order to get into here.
You know, I tried to share it onto my other channels, and it's like, yeah, can go and share it to your other channels. I said, sure, okay. It's like, no, you can't add anymore. You already have these two on your profile. I said, thanks. I want to add it onto this broadcast. They're like, no,
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, no. I'm
yeah.
like,
We try. Yeah, we tried to K-pop. You couldn't get it done.
I got it done, but it took me like 20 minutes to get all because it kept trying to click on the wrong email to connect my YouTube. It was
But did
good
it get it
times.
connected? Did it connect it?
Yeah, it's finally connected. Yeah.
Did
I'm
it
one of the ones.
connect it?
It's connected. Yeah, I got it connected.
Oh, okay. Huh. I don't. Was there any kind of indication on my part?
No,
Huh.
it's just how they have things set up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, okie dokie, okie dokie. We're live. That's all that matters, you know. Okay,
We
talk about alive. All right, Chris, Machine. Uh, welcome to our AAPI celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Um, everybody knows K-pop and NammaN in our community. We are slowly, slowly what is paired RJ William.
Yeah, hey, RJ, what's up?
Hey RJ.
What do you mean paired?
I think it's
Oh,
paired.
somebody must be connecting from K-pop's channel. Is that right?
Yes.
I'm listening. Okay, okay.
That,
All right. Hey, RJ, let me go ahead and put that up. Oops. So, oh, there you go. All right. So, Michelle, go ahead and let's start with your introduction. We'll explain what this stream is all about.
all right, all right. So yeah, I my name is Christie Shinn. I also do a comic called Demon Bitch. I am the creator. It's about a low-level demon from the 13th pit of hell where people throw their dog shit in gum wrappers. Excuse me. And she wants to bring the second coming of Armageddon, but the first one never happened because she's a dumbass. She's based off people I hate. So it's just stupid shit that I just draw about and write about. It's kind of like it's just essentially like I moved to LA and there you go. But yeah, I also run Asian Invasion. I also have a Kickstarter coming up. So Asian Invasion
Oh.
is a mystery right now. Just like
Hmm.
us Asian people are kind of mysterious anyway. Oh ha ha ha. And then but then I've also like but the thing is that I'm running a Kickstarter. I do not have a definitive time yet because it has been a lovely time figuring out tariffs and everything. So hopefully now everyone
There's
I
Yeah.
mean, I
okay.
shouldn't be personally affected because my stuff is domestic, most of it, but I know a lot of other people are affected. So I am keeping that in mind. So I'm seeing
Mhm.
where it goes. And then, but I did get it started, set it up. So what it is that I'm going to have a graphic novel called Dumbass. Now I just totally baked, my brain is like baked due to the heat, but it's like Dumbass Express. And then the other book is the most mediocre collection ever, which is the omnibus of the first 5 books. So that's definitely what I'm doing. I may do another tarot deck. It will not be a demon bitch. It will actually be kind of influenced by Nick Cave's Murder Ballads, and that's going to be fun to do. It is not endorsed by Nick Cave. I just really liked it, and I just loved the music in it. But it's not a derivative of it. It's very loosely about like that subject matter and stuff.
Okay, cool.
And
The-
this is a little noodle fun.
Can I ask you to mirror the camera if you can?
How do I mirror it?
Go to
I can't even figure out how to type a comment.
Right. It says mirror camera. It's already mirrored.
No, so just toggle it, toggle it.
So we, there you go.
There you
Like that?
go.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, because I want to read that Korean on your shirt.
Oh,
건들지 마, 건들지 마.
I'm trying to remember what it means. I know it's
Okay.
angry because it's Helen Joe. This is a Helen Joe shirt. This is a shirt that Helen Joe designed. She's a really cool artist. And I've noticed about Korean women in the comic industry, we draw really angry fucking shit. Like I've met Leela Lee, I met Helen Joe. Like we're all like pretty mellow, nice women, but it's like this. And Korea Angry, I forgot Korea Angry. She's very sweet. She does the maquettes and the puppets, but it's like the shit we do or write about, it's like severely pissed off. Like it's angry. Like Leela Lee, even though those hers like angry little girls, it's cute and everything. It's like it's just perpetually mad about something. Like it's like
Well,
she's
I mean, it's not 건들지 마. It's don't touch. Don't-
right. It's like don't touch, you know, like go away, kind of thing.
it's
And it's not
understandable. Do not touch.
right, right. So it's like don't touch, you know, like that. I bet you if I was actually walking down Seoul, I don't know what would happen there, but that would be funny. I don't think my life would be in danger. I just think it's funny. They'll be like, because you know, like a lot of the fashion in Korea now. Seoul, I went there like last year, and it's very like nice and flowery and pastel, and I'm none of those things. So there you go. A lot of oversized clothing and everything. So yeah, hey guys, how's it going? So we're doing the new restream. So that's what we're doing right now.
We're restreaming. She's making fun of my new stream service.
I'm trying to figure out how it works. I can't type any comments.
Yeah,
Huh?
like the thing is
I
that
can't
like
type comments. It only
yeah,
lets
I
you
tried
type private chat.
yeah, I tried like like
Hmm.
sending it to my channels because it was asking me. It's like, yeah, do you want to send it to your channel? Sure. You know, on this profile you
Yeah.
can only add two. I get it, but yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, it won't let you actually type a comment though. Like it'll probably let Nam type because he's the host, but it won't let us type anything. So I'm actually going to all the places I have linked to leave comments. So I'm gonna go in your chat too, just to drop some comments. But hey Austin, hey RJ, whoever else I see in a second. I'll be hopping around there in a minute. I'm gonna just go to everybody's channel and just start dropping some stuff because I
Right.
can't. It won't let me do anything.
Right. Now I hear you on that.
Let me see if I could.
Here you go. Oh, I'm a bot. Yeah, can you pin my comment on your channel? Are you on your channel to pin that? I'm a mod, but won't let me pin anything.
Yeah. I think restream should be labeled like
Yeah, as much as StreamYard cost, I think I prefer StreamYard.
There's some aspects to the UI, yeah. Like I'm doing a whole new setup where I'm actually going like I'm porting in via virtual OBS type thing, but it has its own set of things.
Yeah.
Like it's like the chat and everything. It's being a fucking annoying and shit like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
mean,
see Rick. Yeah, I see Rick. You know, and not today because we're trying a new system, and it won't let me pair my usual things. I've got Twitter and YouTube going, but for whatever reason, we can't get the full thing happening, and I can't actually type there. So I'm actually in Nam and Mai's chat and my Twitter chat right now just to drop some links.
Oh, cool. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's
All right.
okay.
It's okay.
You gotta figure stuff out along the way.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
happens.
it's like at least it's not like NASA.
Yeah. Well, the StreamYard did not do me a favor. So,
No, I
but
hear.
after I switch over, after I switch over to Restream, now they're offering me $1. I don't know what that account is, $1. So I may take that, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Really, they're offering you to pay everything for $1, or they're just saying, "Oh, here's $1 off." It's kind of hard to tell in this economy.
No, it's $1. It's $1 for maybe just for a month. I
For a
don't know.
month, maybe?
Yeah,
Right.
but maybe first month, But K-pop somehow I have I don't know which channel you connected to.
It said I could connect to 3, and then I added my Twitter and my YouTube.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's like restream.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
only
know.
goes 2, 2, 3, 1. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I think per
pretty much.
person. So that's what kind of sucks about it because it was asking me to do it. I said, okay, I want to project it onto my thing. Oh no, you can't. Then why'd you ask me?
Ah.
Oh, that happened to me in the first place, and there's a weird, stupid little X that you have to hit. It doesn't even look like it's on the screen. You have to move it over, and you have to click that first before you hit continue.
Oh
It
wow.
gave me 5 minutes of that crap before I figured that out.
Yep. Right. Well, today
Yeah.
I have my cats here. You guys had food last
Woo.
time. Here's my cats. This is my little ramen
Nice.
noodle fuck spam.
Ramen spam.
Yeah, his name
The
is
other
Spam.
one,
But he looks like he's got ramen on the side.
yeah. What's the other one? The black one is called
Ink.
Ink. Oh yeah, that's right.
Aw.
Ink.
Her big ass, right, is right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, some of the memories coming back to me. That's good. Like,
Well,
It's
that's
like that
good.
Celine
That's all we can
Dion
ask for.
song.
all right, K-pop.
Austin. Yes.
Oh, what's going on?
I was trying to answer Austin's question. We're right now we are using Restream. I don't know if you guys ever tried that before, but this is what we're the program that we're on right now.
Right.
Also, if you wait towards Black Friday and you have an account, unhook your account, and then they'll send you the Black Friday deal for StreamYard, so you get half off the year. Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
Kitty. Yeah, he is my ramen noodle fuck. See, he looks it has a ramen noodle pattern on the side.
There's another demon lady. Okay.
American Demon. Hello, American Demon.
Yeah,
I
that's
may have seen
Austin.
you, I may have not. Oh, that's Austin? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Austin has a comic called Envy that actually has to do with demon ladies, babes.
Oh, really? I think I've seen it
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a good one.
So no one's gonna ask me what I sing about. Do you know Miss Shin?
What?
What you're singing about?
Yeah, I sang
Oh,
you a song, and
I don't remember that song. It sounds like Pansori, but I don't know what it is. Like I
Okay.
know Ariang. I know that one.
Uh-huh.
But that's like a famous one. And then there's another one called no, he tends to whip his tail and it tends to hit and it hurts. I'm trying to think. I don't know what the song is. It just sounds like Pansori. What is it?
Okay, so it goes something like this. Well, let me try to remember.
You're not smacking in the face.
작년에 왔던 갑돌이가 죽지도 않고 또 왔네.
I've heard that song. I forgot what it means. I forgot what it's about.
So I remember this song because this panhandlers are pretty much regular thing in Korea. They even come into your house, panhandlers.
Mhm.
They'll come into your house and um, they will come there, sit down, outside. I mean, in Korea, you would have a little gate, right? They come into the
Yeah.
gate
Yeah.
and sit themselves out in some place, so that he gets in the way of somebody, right? He just
Mhm.
lie there with all the regular clothes, and he would have this little bowl where he wanted rice, and he said,
Uh-huh.
I'm back. I haven't. I was here last year. I haven't. So his name is Kaptori. He called himself a Kaptori, whatever you want to call it. It's just John, right? John Smith, whatever.
Yeah.
And it says, I haven't died, and I'm back. I'm back, and I want some rice. Otherwise I'm not going to go away.
So were they like monks or were they like what purpose do they serve? Because I know
What?
like
What's
are they
that?
just beggars?
Yeah, it's just beggars, just an annoying song.
Oh,
I haven't died. I haven't died yet. I'm back, and I'm gonna keep on singing this song until I get a food on my bowl. Then I leave. That's basically.
like I've read Korean folktales. You don't want to be doing that in a lot of Korean homes because the wife will come out at you with a fucking shovel and hit you. Like there's this one about the magpie. I guess what it was like I read it. It was like an English translation. My Korean is shit. but it's hilarious because there's this one story where it talked about like how certain animals got patterns, right? So they went into that. It was winter and they were begging for food, I guess, kind of like that. And the magpie goes over and he goes over to the rat's home. And what it was, I think it was something like the rat's home or something. And the magpie goes in there and starts cussing out the rat, say, "Come out here, you piece of shit! Go and give me food." And the wife comes out with a shovel and slaps him on the face with it from the fireplace. So that's why he's red marks on his face. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like Asian folktales are like that. They're like really gnarly. And I don't know, NammaN. I've never heard this one, but they say, oh, in a Korean tale, how you can tell how old it is like when tigers used to smoke. I said, well, I know in like the folktales I have read, they could change shapes. So like tigers, like the kumyo, the nine-tailed fox. Now it's funny because my aunt said this is actually an allegory for a bad woman, but they have nine-tailed foxes in China and Japan. And I think in Japan, they're more mysterious creatures and a bit mischievous, but they're not evil. China, I think they can be evil, but they're kind of like, they kind of do their own thing. This is not kitsune. This is different. But for nine-tailed foxes in Korea, it's like they literally seduce men, steal their energy, and change shape. And they live in graves and eat corpses.
Nine-tailed fox. Nine-tailed
Yeah,
fox.
they eat their hearts and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of dramas.
Oh yeah, like with the one with a daughter, like wanted a daughter, and then she like would eat the liver of the cow, and then she eventually killed their parents and shit, and that's why they have this ocean, because like he was told, okay, throw, I think the green bottle, red bottle, and then blue bottle. So he throws a green bottle at her, and it becomes this bamboo thing that spikes her, but she still manages to go through it. And then there was the fire bottle where he threw a bottle filled with fire and burns her. Finally, he drowns her ass by throwing a bottle at her and turns into this ocean. It's crazy. Yeah, it's interesting because like foxes in Asian culture are different, but in Korean culture, they're not really considered good. They're very evil, basically.
Yeah.
There's maybe one or two that were okay, but they just want to be human, but they're mystical beings, but they're generally malevolent.
Well, they have to eat. I think they have to eat 100 hearts or something like that. They have to eat 100 human hearts before they become a human themselves.
Yeah, it's like I've heard livers, I've heard hearts, I've heard energy.
Yeah, it depends on the lore. Yeah. But usually they're fair, trying to stay within like the humans and like blend in type thing.
Yeah,
there's some romance story where she's this. I mean, there's some romance story like fox is at the 100 heart. This is her last heart to eat, right? But she actually falls in love with the guy, right? So she could. So she has to sacrifice herself. That kind of story too, as well. But about your tiger, the days when the tiger used to smoke cigarettes, that sounds really ancient, right?
Yeah.
It's a Korean way Koreans say, we go 옛날 옛적에 호랑이's tiger. 호랑이가 담배 피던 시절에 so long time ago when tiger used to smoke cigarettes. Well, that sounds like a very ancient time, right?
Yeah.
But it's only 200 years old since Korea had a cigarettes.
Well, I mean, there's the pipe. There's a pipe with the.
Well, the pipe. Tobacco was a new thing for Korea.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not that ancient. It's not 1,000 years old. It's like a few hundred years old. So, and Korea got pretty addictive to this. They import from, I think, both from China and Japan, and they got really hooked on these cigarettes. And when they say, the days when tiger used to smoke cigarette, they really meant only the elites used to smoke cigarettes. Because it was a very expensive thing. It was a very expensive habit at first.
Yeah. Well, it still is. I mean, look at America now. It's like almost 20 a pack now, and it's not even imported. I mean, I'm not really a smoker, but I think that's pretty funny. Yeah, but it's hilarious. Oh yeah, are these approached as folktale or something like that could be understood in studies by paranormal investigators treat ghosts and entities? I actually did EVPs too. I think that was fun. I went to a cemetery and did that shit. And it was actually interesting because we were by a grave of a girl. She was in her 20s, early 20s, and she passed away because her horse threw her. And we
Oh,
actually asked her questions, and she was pretty confrontational. Like we said, "So how are you doing? Why?" Like literally, that's how she sounded. She
oh,
wasn't evil. She was, I think, more pissed off. Like why?
well,
And like,
understandable.
yeah,
Uh,
mhm,
Let me take my little take on this one. Uh, every village has these kind of folk tales in Korea,
mhm.
and normally, like there's always no, always involve a young girl getting, you know, she getting drowned in
Oh,
the lake and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, uh, or a virgin getting drowned, or you know that kind of stories, and normally it's common folks being uh, kind of grieving. They're grieving
Mhm.
because they were the because in Korea we had what they call Yangban and Sangnam days. You know, the noble class and uh, peasant class, and always the noble class would take advantage of peasant classes,
Oh
and
yeah.
only way the peasant class would have a any kind of a say so was to make up these stories
Yeah,
that
that's
would
common
that
now.
grieve their heart. They cannot even actually grieve about, hey, if some noble class took your daughter and say, hey, she's going to be my concubine, and the guy couldn't do nothing about that, right? So the peasant will, uh, you know, express their agree by saying a monster took, this, Kishin, took her, in the. So it's like is a more of a way of grieving, and they try to spread this, basically trying to say you're gonna the karma is going to be after you. Karma, you treated us that bad, you're going to have karma, and you're going to be treated that way. So they
Yeah.
make up these stories to, you know, basically grieve, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because like Yoshi was saying, Hiroda was going, "Wait, Kumio are real?" And I don't know if he or she was in the earlier conversation, but my aunt was telling me it's an allegory for a bad woman. That's what she told me, like a bad woman that sucks your life energy away. Said I've met a few of those.
Yo.
Yeah, I met a few of those, so I thought that was pretty funny. But it's like I kind of know what they're talking about because the thing is with the kumyo back in the day, well, the kumyo we were talking earlier, they tend to eat like a certain amount, like 100. It always has to be 100, I guess. But it's
uh,
either livers, hearts, or
mm.
energy. Like steal the energy of 100 men or whatever. It was always involving men a lot of the time, but it would involve other people too. Hi, Bone. How's
Yeah.
it going?
There's a lot of Korean like traditions that are like around the 100, like the 100 days, like when you're a couple and stuff like that. There's a lot of those kind of things, like in the
Well, I
like the
know.
oh, yeah, yeah.
folklore and lore and kind of stuff.
Well, I know, like the
Oh,
100 days for the baby. It's like, oh, the kid
Yeah.
lived past that, so we think it's okay to name them
well,
now.
that's actually Korea. If you celebrate 100 day because your kid passed 100 days, and the mother for the baby passed 100 days,
Yeah,
because those things could happen within 100 days. Bad things could
yeah,
happen within 100 days. If
yeah,
you survive that 100 days, then you have something to celebrate. So that's s- and so it's basically they're celebrating. Oh yeah, my wife had a baby and she didn't die, and
yeah,
my baby didn't die, so now we can celebrate. So they don't celebrate on the until the 100th day.
yeah,
It's
yeah. They
kind of
still
it's a
observe it to this day. I
yeah.
think like they do the thing where you pick up like okay, so I forgot what it's called, but it's where they pick up the scissors, the pen, or the brush, or the
Oh, that
money.
one. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
On
It's funny. Mhm.
Yeah, on the 100th day, you dress up your baby, you put them out there, you give them a lot of choices, but of course it's all going to be good choices, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
So
they give you the thread for long life. They give you the money. You're going to be rich. If it's a pen, you're going to be an artist or a scholar or something. I mean, they've updated it, but my
whatever the
sister,
baby grandpa
yeah, like
is,
whatever
and
he's going to
of
have
course,
it. Like,
depending on your parents, if your mom wants the baby to have money, they go, bring it over here. What's the, grab this.
Right, right. They'll kind of put it a little closer, but it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, my sister got the ones that are cute because they're like plush. So she got a little plush set of those. I forgot what is that called again, where they pick up the thing. I forgot. I'm terrible right now, but I can't
I don't
remember it.
know. I don't know.
I don't remember the exact name for that, but I know what you guys are talking about because that's in a
Yeah,
couple
like
cultures. They have that.
yeah, I didn't
I
know
think
that.
that's
Like in Korea,
I
like they
think it's
talk about that.
돌잔치, not 백일잔치. It's 돌잔치 because kid has to be able to grab stuff. So it's
Yeah,
a
so I think it's like
돌잔치.
100 days or
One
something like
one year,
that.
1 year, 1 year,
Oh,
1 year.
1 year. Okay, it's a 1 year. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
right.
my nephew and niece did that. I don't remember what my niece got, but I think my nephew got the money. He was just like, it was like but now it's cute because before they used to put the actual items there. Now it's like they put my sister actually went on Etsy or something and bought like somebody made a plush version of those things. And then she put them out there and then they put
Oh,
them on a
that's
blanket
cute.
or something and they grab whatever. And then they cheer like, yay. I think he got the money. So they were happy. He's like,
I,
luckily.
I don't know who will put out on a little baby, exacto knife from the doctor.
Back in those days, they were hard, man. But it's like this
Yeah,
American Demon, like the Avatar Airbender, not blue people. What? I'm
like
confused.
Avatar, the Airbender. Uh,
No, I know, but I'm just like, oh, air. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
No, of course, we
yeah.
wouldn't talk about the blue people. That's stupid shit right there. No, but it's funny because like there was this one guy that said, I said, oh, you look like Ang because I thought it was like Ang, right? It's like ANG or something or AANG.
Mhm.
And the guy said, "Oh, you mean Ang?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, fucker. I didn't know that." But it's weird because it's like I couldn't tell where Airbender was from because it could look like could have been primarily Chinese, but there were certain Korean and like Japanese
I think he
aspects to
was
it.
kind of melded a few places because
Yeah,
it wasn't really created by anybody. I think it was created by like people in America. But
yeah. Like it wasn't like a guy from Korea or a guy from Japan.
yeah,
I don't even know if the guy's Asian. He might have been white or something, but he just actually did a skillful thing of melding it all together. And
yeah,
he was
like
really good at
made it
that.
work. Yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there's one like he even integrated like Pacific Islander and Inuit culture too, which was funny.
mm, yeah.
So yeah,
So the
and
airbender is not from any particular Asian country.
no, it's from America.
Mm-mm.
It's basically and I know this word has been labeled as a dirty word, but he like appropriated from different Asian cultures, but it's like he melded it
Yeah.
together. It's kind of
No,
like
I mean, who's the creator? Who is the creator?
I don't.
Oh, I forgot their names. I think it was one or two guys that created that a series.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I'm trying to remember who did Airbender because
they did
there's
such a
also
great job, though.
yeah. It's like they also did Korra, the Legend of Korra
Yeah, because
too.
that's the continuation of Avatar,
Yeah, I'm just trying to
which I think
remember
they're getting
who.
ready to do with something else with it too.
Yeah.
Oh, did they have that Did they have that in the
Okay.
airbender?
Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko. I think that's how it's not. Neither of them sound Asian at all that I know of, but
Mm,
it's interesting. But it's like basically, yeah, they did a good job. It's kind of like if you read Frank Herbert's Dune, he integrates a lot of Middle Eastern culture for the Fremen, but then he integrates a lot of European type culture for for the Empire. So I found that
yeah.
interesting. So it's sort of like kind of like if they did that kind of thing. Although they don't really have white people in that I saw, but anyway. I'm just saying.
Lady, I have to go upstairs. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. We can't. It's okay. So before you do that, we can't click any of the comments. So we'll talk about you guys
we'll read that. Yeah,
if we get any other comments. Yeah. But
yeah,
yeah. Go run, do whatever you got to do. No.
yeah. Hey guys, by the way. So yeah, I mean we're just talking about nothing. I mean it was kind of funny when Naaman put in my like precursor thing or the promo. It was like literally talking about precancerous shit, and I'm like, wow, that's really funny. And I'm talking about T-shirts and making fun of people that pretend that they have cancer. I think I've earned that right there. Like they're going like, oh yeah, we should have team T-shirts and everything. It's like what? I don't want to die and stuff. So guys, go back on his channel if you guys want to see that on his Instagram to see that preview. That's a hoot basically. So yeah, so I mean it's like AAPI month. It's been a very hot month. I should have watermelon out here because that's going to be really good, but I don't know if it's the season quite yet technically for watermelon.
Oh, I've already had like 2 already.
I hate you. I actually should get watermelon, but I just don't feel like getting watermelon right now.
We
It's
had
just been
like
too hot.
2 really hot, like gross days of like 80 to 90 degrees. And then the last 4 days, it's been raining and freezing. So that's been just quite lovely. I've been in hoodies and heated blankets because it's so cold
You know, when I
out
went to the
here.
Ren Fair this past weekend,
Oh, yeah.
it was the
Mhm.
last day. Usually it's butt ass hot. Usually we always get some form of heat stroke and we get sunburned. None of
Yeah.
that happened. It was cold and rainy. So, but it was
Wow.
like nice because it wasn't like hot. I mean, but we weren't like sweaty, but it was like I was starting to catch a cold because it was drizzling and it was
Oh,
cold. I mean, it
no.
was warm, but still, it's like, okay, I got to go home early because I got an event to do because I had the indie graphic novel book fair the next day.
Ooh, fun.
Hmm.
Okay. That's
So
good. But
yeah,
yeah,
I
thanks
mean,
to everybody that's joining us. It's really hard to tell on here, like
right.
what's going on, where people are at. But thanks to everybody that's hanging with us. I see people in everyone's chats because I'm literally in everybody's chat right now. So welcome on in.
I was watching Dan Mendoza's stream. Totally lost my chubby watching a dude fanboy over his own work. Well, it's like if I
Oh,
fanboyed over Demon
I
Bitch,
forgot that was on
um,
tonight. I fell asleep. Yeah.
oh my god, he makes
Yeah,
sweet stuff.
I ran around. He was at Motor City on Saturday, and we ran around because my friend Mike is one of their artists.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like that guy. I've seen him for the past 10 years, and he's made it into something zombie tramp. So you know, I mean, it's interesting because it's like funny when you say totally lost a chubby watching a dude fanboy over his own work. I'm just like, well, I mean, if I fanboyed over Demon Bitch, I mean, that would be kind of gross because she's nasty and doesn't bathe. You know, she's a fucking druggie, and you know that's.
Yeah.
But it's one of the non-attractive druggie types. You know, when they start going bad, and you're like, ooh, it's like, you know, I think there's phases like in LA where you have the attractive people doing the drugs and they kind of can. And again, I'm in media, so I've seen a lot of shit. So let's just say that I'm not going to go into specifics, but you see 3 phases of drug addiction in media. I've noticed it's like you have the people that are functional and do a load of it and they keep a facade of very high productivity and all that. Then the second phase is when they start falling apart and you'll notice in little bits. And then the last one is where they crash, and it's not pretty at all because they've pretty much lost their
No,
mind by that time. Now, all 3 of those phases you can come back from, but the further you go down, the harder it is because
it's
usually
so hard.
they end up
It's
pissing off a
hard to
lot of
see all
people.
that. Yeah. Well, it's hard to see all that stuff, but there's a lot of channels that go around. They'll go to like Kensington and places in Arizona and some other places and show like just people. It's really sad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
Really
funny because
sad.
when he was talking about like the panhandlers in Korea, like singing that song,
Hmm.
it's like, you know, you do realize that, you know, if you piss off the Korean housewife back in the day, she'd probably throw a fucking bunch of hot coals on your ass and tell you to get the fuck out. I mean, she's willing to hit you with a shovel and stuff. But I mean, I live in LA. I have to deal with that for a little bit. So it's like, homeless here are assholes. I mean, people are like, oh, I hate, you know, like, oh no, homeless people. I said, no, homeless people out here are assholes. Like in California, they're really nasty, nasty. Like if you go anywhere else in the United States, say for the other coast,
Mm.
Midwest, they're actually okay. That you know, you genuinely feel bad for people that are homeless because they did make some shitty choices or they had some bad streak of luck or both. But you do feel bad for them. But California, I'm sorry to say, they're not great people. Like
I
I've
have
had run-ins with them, which are not
I,
good.
I have to explain myself about the video, by the way. The
Mhm.
why I song made that thing. So I have this on a restream. What they have is you take your whatever file you uploaded, video file, right? It will make it 1 minute short.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I took our video from last year and I put it through Restream, and they found me this clip where you're talking about cancer. and I,
You had to pick that one.
then I said, okay, I'll pick this one because what it reminded me was it's about I mean, because you were talking about, they remind me of that song. I'll just sang you. I didn't, I didn't die. I'm back. So basically, no, I didn't die. I'm back. You guys have to do this again.
I mean, what can I say? I spark interesting conversations. So it's like everybody's like, you have to be a rebel to be an artist. When I did art, I was inspired by this. No, I have to talk about having pre-cancer and shit taken out of my guts. And then I didn't die, but came back. And I'm like, oh, that's okay. I mean, I find it funny, actually. It's like, it's not like I want to say story of my life, but I've just learned to roll with it. And it actually makes for a very interesting conversation. And in a way, it does make you stand out. And I was like, first I was like, is this kind of morbid to like not be able to stand out in this way? But whatever works. So I don't know. It's interesting because it's like, as I said, it's kind of weird for AAPI. It's like, I feel like in some ways I'm very different than a lot of the people, like, because I'm not like doing some next like Korean thing. I'm not doing some next whatever. And I'm not saying that I'm not down on that. I mean, damn, I do a thing called Asian Invasion. It's a festival celebrating Korean creators. I
Yeah.
mean, sorry, not Korean, Asian creators, sorry. Comic creators, artists, things like that. But what's kind of funny is that I'm kind of going on a spell of like my own rebelling because where can we find the Demon Bitch book? I've heard of it, but haven't come across. Oh, you can order it from my website. If you go on my link tree, I actually have a store link. But if you want to click on it, K-pop, if you can, and give them the store link, if you're able to do that, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to be a bunch of gobbledygook, but just click on that. Just click on that right there.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the one. But yeah, you can order it and I'll get that to you. Some of my
Yeah.
books are sold out, so I have to order them. But it usually takes 2 weeks to order, so 3 weeks total for me. But you'll
Yeah.
get your own signed copy once you order it. I'll personally autograph it to you. But yeah, there's another one where what is it? But yeah, so Asian Invasion's like about that. But it's like as an Asian creative, at least for
Mhm.
me. But I think a lot of other Asian creatives can relate to that, especially their first generation immigrant, like their parents they're the first generation born here,
Yeah.
came here when they were little. I think we had the point 0.5 generation for Koreans because some of us were born over in Korea and came when we were little to America. Yeah, so there you go. Name it. Yeah, like, so there you go. So you had the point 0.5 generation, and I'm first generation American. So where they were talking about, like Japan has their kind of their own saying. There's Issei, Nisei, Sansei, and then it goes further there. I don't know what in general China would call, the Chinese would call it. I mean, it's a huge nation, so they would have probably different names from different areas. But it's like we called it the point 0.5 generation. And the thing is that what I wanted to illustrate with Asian Invasion is that okay, by your own ethnicity, like first of all, people kind of perceive you a certain way because they're only familiar with this type of ethnicity from a general standpoint. I'm not saying necessarily racism, it's just whatever it is. But I'm coming from California, so I'm just like, this is a pretty like liberal state when it comes to shit like that. I'm just saying, from my perspective, what I've seen. But the thing is, now in your own family, in that little area, you were expected to be a certain way. Now it's like I wasn't expected to be a Korean girl, but I was expected to kind of be this type of Korean American girl. Like you have the 4.0 GPA, you have the looks, you have everything, you have all this shit. You're supposed to have a six-figure job and all that. And I really am saying, hey, shoot for the stars. But that's going to be very different for every Asian person. But the thing is, I'm sure when they come from first generation families, their families have a certain perception of how you should be. Maybe not necessarily how you should be, like, oh, you're this Japanese girl or you're this Chinese girl or whatever. But it's like there's a certain expectation as you as an American, what they hold of you, at least from my experience. Not necessarily what other Americans hold for me, but it's like my family, how I should be in America. And like I wanted to show, like, dude, we're all individuals. I mean, Jesus, like, I'm not the stereotypical Korean American girl. I'm not. And like with Leela Lee and hold on.
One thing that one thing about here's what I don't know as a point 0.5 generation
Yeah,
is that uh, everybody the whole culture changes, right? I mean, Korea, United States, everybody change as time goes.
right,
Uh, for my parents, we came to United States at 1974.
right.
So yeah, they are traditional Koreans, my mom and dad. But when they came over here to the United States, their tradition for Korea has stopped at 1974. It,
Yeah,
it did not change along with the Korea, whatever Korean culture is.
Yeah.
So they are adopting new culture from America that is also keep changing.
Mhm.
But for as our tradition, our tradition is 1974, and so we are more old fashioned than, let's say, I've been in the United States for 10 years, right? So
Mhm.
that's 1984. And somebody comes in, and well, they are the traditional Korean 1984. Well,
Right.
that's different than traditional 1974 Koreans,
Mhm.
because their culture has changed 10 years. I mean, there's a lot of things have changed in 10 years. You know how fast Korea has grown. We when I came to United States. It was a third world nation at the time,
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
but 10 years later, that's not true anymore, right?
No,
So
no, it's actually changed a lot, you know.
yeah, so it's so my parents haven't changed. I haven't. I mean, I grew up under that, under their ideas, and so yeah, we are able to adapt to United States culture, but Korean culture never advanced more than the 1974. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so so
Yeah.
every one of us, depending on when you came to the United States, every one of us, even though we're same Koreans, we may have a very different outlook on life as well, because culture is quite a bit different.
Yeah.
Well,
But
it's
that's the
really
thing with the well, that's what the cool thing about the AAPI is because there's a lot of people that don't know their heritage. They don't know where they're from. They don't know their family. And that's what really the AAPI is about because you can celebrate those things just for being who you are. But I think that's fascinating. That's why I like doing this because I know a lot of people that don't even like talking about their history or their family because they went through some horrific stuff. So
yeah,
it's cool to see people come together for this and celebrate that.
right, right. I mean, it's kind of funny because like when I went to Korea, last time I went to Korea before the last year, it was like 20 years ago. It was very different now than it is, very different than it is now. Like back then it kind of smelled bad and I thought they said, "Oh, that's the kimchi smell." It's like, "No, what's now the nice little canal walk over in Cheonggyecheon, that actually used to be an open sewer line. That's why it smelled so fucking bad." You know. The mayor of Korea like 10 years ago actually cleaned it up and made it into a nice little, you know, you know, uh, canal walk now. But
Oh,
everything in
nice.
Korea is cleaner. It's nicer. When I was there about 20 odd years ago, everybody was aggro. There were people like businessmen would get into fights in the fucking street. Like
Oh,
literally
whoa.
road rage was everywhere. Now it's
Dang.
just really organized. Like people say, "Oh, it's like LA traffic." Yeah, but it's not like crazy how it used to be. I mean, people wouldn't be shooting each other, but they'd be getting out on the side of the road a lot of the time and screaming at each other with their girlfriend, like holding them back. But it's cleaner. Actually, a lot of the younger generation has like fucking sleeves and tats in public. Like
Yeah.
it's
Very
crazy.
taboo. It's very taboo, but it's cool to see how that's like getting more and more accepted.
They kind of don't care. Like we were at a nice
Yeah.
hotel, my mom and I, and like the guy had like a full on sleeve. Now it didn't bother me, but my mom was like, like her generation, they were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's so gross. That's so disgusting." And she's like, "What do you think of tattoos?" And I'm like, my generation brought them into the mainstream in America. What are you like?
Yeah.
Why are you talking to me? I see this shit everywhere. Like, I even saw some people with face tattoos on top of it. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of the girls, like, people are saying, "Oh, well, like it's the guys." I said, a lot of guys do, but a lot of the girls have tattoos now, too. Like, they
Yeah.
got even leg tattoos and shit. Like, I was like, damn. I don't know what the
It's
leg
getting
sleeves are called, but yeah.
it's getting
Oh,
more
all
and
right.
more normal,
Uh,
but
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep up. Go ahead.
it's getting more and more normal. But I think it's still illegal to
Yeah,
get
there's some
tattooed
weird
in Korea.
legalities about it, but I think
Yeah.
like people just start don't I think they kind of do
Yeah.
it, but they don't nobody gives a fuck anymore, really honestly. Like
Yeah. It's
it,
really interesting because a lot of cultures, depending on where you are, just all kind of blending together,
mm,
which is interesting because especially in like Japan, tattoo culture was really restricted to like yakuza. And
yeah.
so they still have a lot of places where they won't allow entry if you have tattoos because it's kind of got that stigma, like in
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah. Although now the Yakuza, it's like instead of cutting off your finger, they
Yeah,
just pay a fine because like nowadays it's like,
yeah,
why do you have a freezer full of fingers? And they're like, you know what, we're just going to do business, so they just pay a fine
yeah,
because then it would actually single them out and everything. Now tattoos are getting more normalized in Asia, like that part of Asia. I don't want to say
Yeah.
all of Asia, because there's some parts of Asia where, like, I think in Vietnam tattoos are fine. Like I see a lot of Vietnamese, especially the women with tattoos, but I'm not going to make presumptions about the culture there, because it's like I only know because I'm from what I've been told and what I've observed, because I'm not Vietnamese. Of course, I can always be corrected. I'm not saying that, but more of like the Laotian, Filipino, like the tattoos, depending on where you're
part
at.
of their culture.
Yeah, it's actually okay.
It's like a tribal thing. It's part of their tribe. It's part of their culture thing. And they usually, the more tattoos you have, I think you're the more revered you are in that aspect.
I think some tribes in the Philippines are like that. I don't know which ones, but yeah. I mean,
Korea was influenced by my generation and beyond. I mean, older than that.
Yeah,
we were influenced by Confucius.
Yeah, it's very Confucius.
They're more so than Chinese were influenced by Confucius, and they really he was like almost Jesus to Koreans.
Yeah, it's like very ethical. Like there's
Yeah.
more of ethics, and then like when Buddhism actually first came to Korea, I found out it wasn't really accepted. Like people thought they were pieces of shit there too. Yeah. What a dude has in his freezer is between him and God. Saying, hey, NammaN, what is your top 3 comic grails that we would like to add to your collection at some point? Here we're all chatting about Korea and like random shit. And it's like, well, what about comics?
Yeah.
Well, I do want to bring this up. Because we do have a comic crowd here, comic community. I mean, I know you make your own comic books. Do you collect comic books? I never actually asked that, did I? And would you have a grail?
Oh, I don't know. Like for me, I get the most fucked up comic books. Like I have so many comics, it's not even funny. I have one here. I didn't expect one of them, but I collect the more fucked up ones. So
yes, the weird stuff. The weird stuff is where it's at.
Okay, so one of my friends, I'll tell you a story. This is how messed up I am. So if any of you are familiar with Johnny Ryan, any of you?
Johnny Rotten?
Johnny Ryan.
Oh, Ryan. No.
Johnny Ryan.
Porn basket.
He did Prison Pit. I have another one here. God, this is like I have stacks of those.
Is that supposed to be a tattoo right there?
No, I don't have any tattoos. I don't have any tattoos.
No. The book, the guy's book.
Oh yeah, this is Gigi Allen. And if you look up,
is that supposed to be tattoo? Is that supposed to be tattoos all over his body?
Yeah, that's tattoo. Yeah. Gigi Allen. Okay. Gigi Allen in 1996, he was a punk rocker. He was a nasty, gnarly person. He died of a massive heroin overdose. It was like his 3rd or 8th one. Like seriously, this fucker was crazy. So I'm into punk. Never saw the guy live or anything. Hey, Christie, hand pink waving place. Oh, hey, what's up? Sorry, it's describing the emoji. But hey, Devil Flyer. So what happened with Gigi Allen? Like he used to be a pop singer kind of thing in the 50s, like 60s and 70s. Like he tried that, and it's trippy because you can go on YouTube and listen to his stuff right before he turned punk. Like literally, it's like, oh yeah, let's dance around the thing. It's like really poppy. And then later on his songs like I Want to Kill You and Burn Your Body songs. And I'm like, like
he became one of the most badass, like just messed up performers of the time.
Like, that fucker would like break bottles over himself, cut
gnarly stuff.
Get into fights with him. He cut people up. He'd shit on people. Like literally, this guy was just ultimate like chaos. And he died like of a freaking like 8th heroin overdose. Anyway, so Johnny Ryan, he draws subversive shit. His most famous stuff was basically Prison Pit. I have that series, but he also did Goat, Duck, Banana, Pig. I mean, or something like that on Nickelodeon. He actually did do the character design for those on Nickelodeon, and it's actually a kids appropriate show. It's just weird as hell. So he does like he releases these little art things like. As you can tell, the guy's offensive. Like I can't show half this stuff on here, but like this is one of them, Porn Basket. This is funny. And then he did this one and it's called Barely Human. But yeah, he just draws these like offensive drawings. And I think one of my favorites here, if I can find it here, I bookmarked it because I just open it up and I have to laugh. Like, okay, so this is like he does draws random shit on his Instagram. It's been shut down like 3 times, but that's one of them right
Oh
there.
my god.
The pigs. That's like my favorite one. But I mean, like, I love fucking crazy shit like this. It's like it makes me laugh because I don't know. It's just like it's stuff that's just like his is disturbing but makes you laugh hysterically because it's just so ridiculously horrible. But yeah, it's like there's one called Do What You Love and it's like bad. It's like but it's like the thing is I met the guy. He's like the nicest, most quietest guy ever. And he's like nothing like fucked up comes from him. And what I've noticed, like the people in the comics industry, if they draw messed up things, they're actually pretty normal people. Whereas the people that draw
Yeah.
majority of the people that draw the really cute, adorable kids things, and you find out later on they're like
They're
the most
they're the
awful.
psycho ones.
Yeah, like they're the most awful fucking perverts and ever. Like they're horrible people, and you're just like, wow, what the hell? Like I think one of them, like I forgot he did this cartoon called The Two Swords, and they found him like a whole terabyte of CP on his like Google Drive or something. You're like, damn. And he was like going, well, I don't know how that got there. It's like, I don't know. I think I know how that got there. So, but he had like cloud drives full of this shit. This was not like, oh, I might have a few pictures that snuck in there. Not that that's good, but he can't bullshit like a whole terabyte or something away. It's like, no.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. But so the big preface with Johnny Ryan, because sometimes I like fucking with my friends. I mean, harmless pranks. Like I like jackass stuff. But one of the things is one of my friends, because he's diabetic, I won't mention his name, but he said he was complaining how he had to lose weight for weight management. I said, so you really want to lose weight? I told him. He said, yeah. And I said, okay. So I go online, and for his birthday, I order a Johnny Ryan book. So let me preface this. Johnny Ryan's books are full of piss, shit, and vomit and other disgusting things. And so what ended up doing was that I ordered it and I sent it to my friend for a birthday gift. And then I like waited a week and I said, did you read it? He said, no, I don't want to read it. I said, no, you read it. You wanted to lose weight, right? Go read it. So he finally gets back to me. He said, I read 2 of the stories. God damn, I fear for humanity. That's after reading the Johnny Ryan book. And then, but the thing is like, he'll ask me to read other books. Like, so I have this book called Fuckator. So apparently there's this guy named Jason Fuckator. So he has these books in print and they're just fucked up. Like they're just ridiculous. Like there's this one about the wolf man and he's being rescued and all that. It's like very cheesecake pulp, but they're funny. And literally the one that I have is like of one made out of a pentagram full of the hand going like this, severed hands with a middle finger. And that's Fuckator. So I mean, I would walk away. It's in my book. It's in my bookcase in my hallway. But it's just like shit like that. It's like things like that make me laugh. Like there's other comics that are really good. I like Mouse. Like that's now kind of a subversive thing, which I don't get. That's a memoir for a Holocaust survivors. Like Art Spiegelman, his dad was the one that went through the Holocaust with his mom, and it was his story. So it's like, oh, it's banned now. I'm like, how is that banned? Like I don't get that. That was weird as hell. How that happened. Somebody said 1 terabyte bush league. But yeah, so I mean, it's like I like subversive books, but I'll do these things like I'll get kids books because I want to look at the illustrations because I started off as a drawing artist. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, that's the thing. So it's like I like stuff that doesn't bore me. And I guess finding offensive punk stuff doesn't bore me because I just figure, I mean, there's boring ways to go about doing it. I mean, there's sometimes where people do the pee jokes and I'm like, okay, this isn't funny. This is stupid old shit. But what I like was like Johnny Ryan because he draws like the crazy shit. I mean, with the pigs and the aliens, like, what do you think that is? You know? I mean, I just sat there and you just sit in there and it's like offensive, but then you start laughing because it's so ridiculous. I don't know how Mouse is subversive, but I don't know why. I don't know their reasoning because the problem, what I've learned in the library system and the scholastic book system, it's a kind of a weird criteria. And I had a librarian explain it to me, but it's even weird in itself and their whole rules and how those rules are imposed on them. It's not like, oh, it's dirty, you should stop it. It's like this whole other criteria that's weird. And I'm kind of like, okay, I don't know. So I'm not trying to be like, I know absolutely. Like, really, there's a lot of bureaucracy and documentation. And literally, like, it's not the Dewey Decimal System anymore. I'm not saying they don't go by that's cataloging, but just like for ratings and stuff, it's this whole other weird thing that I had to fill out at one point. So it's really hilarious. So it's just like, I mean, Johnny Ryan, it's like, I mean, I don't know. It's like I always like drawing gross stuff. I like drawing fucked up things and messed up things. I didn't have a problem with it. And it's funny because I don't see a lot of girls doing it. I didn't do it just because like a lot of girls weren't doing it. I mean, there's bitchy bitch that's pretty subversive in itself. But it's kind of funny because it's like that just stuff I always liked in drawing it because it just made me laugh. And, I mean, if you've been following me, sometimes I've talked about some of the shit I've been through. It's like there's been a reason why I had to laugh because there were times like it really fucking sucked. But it's like I'll read some pretty messed up material. Like I've read Story of the Eye by Jorge Bataille, and that shit is like real. It's not a comic book; it's a book, but it's really obscene. And also I don't really read obscene things. Like sometimes I'll read kids' books because I like sometimes the simple narration. It's not so simple, but how they draw it. Like the Stupids was fucking funny. Like if you ever read any of the kids' books, the Stupids, it's just great because it was like going, oh, this stupid, like she was mad that her nose was running and her hair was falling in her face. So she laid upside down on the couch and now she was happy because her nose didn't run anymore and her hair was out of her face. It's just like so dumb, but it's like hilarious how they write it. And the illustrations make it. So it's like if you kind of want to study narrative to a simplest point and break it down, a good thing is to like read a really good kids book because like they have to explain a complex idea to a kid in narration. And I think that's why I like reading kids books. Sometimes I like to pick it up because there's some kids books that are pretty fucking deep. And it's
there's some great ones.
Oh yeah, there was one in the 70s. I was telling Lawrence, my friend, he does Real Deal Comics, but there was one in Africa. So it was like a lot of the Afrocentric or Afro-centered books at the time that they gave to us kids back in the day. And what it was like there was I don't remember all the names. I wish I knew the name of the book. I've been looking for it so I could show them. But it was like the original Adam and Eve. They were both black. And then this evil white ghost guy comes in. It's like, well, he convinced her to take away this and all that. And she became a white ghost. And later on, I'm like, oh, I think I know what that is much later on. But it's like, but then, her man came back and encouraged her to like, he ripped off the roots that surrounded her, that buried her, and her dark skin returned and everything. And it was beautiful. And they chased the white ghost away and everything. And I was like, wow, this is kind of cool because it was written kind of in an Afro mysterious way. But then much later years as I'm an adult, I'm like, oh, I think I know what that was about, But it was just kind of funny because Lawrence and I will talk about these stories and laugh about them. He's black.
I mean, like the Bugs Bunny, for instance, all that violence, right?
Yeah.
And then all the innuendos they have in those cartoons, we don't know as kids, but as you watch those things as an adult, and you understand the innuendos they do, right? So
yeah,
those
I
are,
mean, yeah. So it's like it's interesting. Like it's like I think one of them was like a Bugs Bunny wartime cartoon, and there was like a fucking cheese thing pinup up there.
right,
So
right, right.
it was like it was pretty crazy with that. So I mean, I'm just kind of like going, I mean, it's kind of interesting because it's like there are certain things that I've seen in kids' books that I'm like later on, like, oh, there was a thing for us adults too. Same for the Muppets. Like they didn't go into like offensive or sexually explicit material, but there are certain things that they would say like that would kind of go over my head as a kid because they're goofy puppets doing weird, stupid things to each other, and they would say some silly things that I would pick up on. But then the other one was like, but the other thing was is that they actually said some pretty adult things too. So
I mean,
yeah,
I
but it
learned
was
my
like,
philosophy from. I studied my philosophy from Aesop Fable. So
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
and
so it's like, but I mean, also conversely, I read the original Grimm's fairy tales.
oh yeah,
I mean,
those are pretty.
they're
Violence. Holy moly. Yeah.
yeah, like I mean, I wasn't like Little Mermaid. My first experience of Little Mermaid was not Disney. I read the Hans
Oh,
Christian
no.
version.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was
Sad story. That's
rough.
really sad story.
rough.
that is fucked up. Like that is an allegory of losing yourself absolutely in a relationship. It's like, man, this is toxic as fuck when you look back. And I don't mean it like in that, like, oh, you should never read it. It's just like when you watch it, when you actually read the original, you're like, whoa, no, Pepe, no, on the rewatch. What's no Pepe?
Half of those
No?
characters got canceled, by the way. Yeah, they're not allowed around.
What is it? Which character?
Half the Pepe Le Pew, like a bunch of those characters got canceled.
Oh yeah.
They got, yeah.
What's hilarious is that with Speedy Gonzalez, like some people say, well, that's offensive to the Latino community. And I'm like, that's funny. Like, all my Mexican friends fucking have that shit.
They love
Like,
him.
they put fucking Speedy up on their thing. Like one of my friends, he named his cat fucking Speedy. I said, you named him after Speedy Gonzalez, right? He said, yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the Mexicans I knew, they fucking were into that shit. They like fucking had Speedies on their Speedy stickers on their car and shit. They love that fucker. They actually like I forgot what his brother's name, but he was like slow and lazy. And
Yeah,
Speedy,
I remember that guy.
yeah. So it's like that. No, Pepe, no, on the rewatch. Yeah, it's just stupid. And Pepe Le Pew, it's like he would chase after this cat. It's like, oh no, it promotes this. It's like actually when you look at it, she fucks him up passively by just running away from him and sees it since he's such a perv, he gets into all these situations and gets fucked up over and over again. And in a way, it kind of teaches you about stalkers in a very fucked up way. Like it does it in a humorous way, and I'm not minimizing that because I've had personal experiences. Unfortunately, I think a lot of us have that we'd like to talk what we'd like to talk about or admit to. Not that there's any shame, but literally Pepe Le Pew is a stalker, but he's like literally showing stalker behavior. But in a way, I find that informative because it's like even though it's humorous, it's actually a teaching tool. Oh, this is how stalkers are. It doesn't minimize it. It makes it like, oh, this is how they act. And stalking is kind of a psychological warfare thing, I do believe. Like literally, I've seen that. I've done kind of research and kind of my own self-reflection on that. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of how it is. Based Mexican kin. Yeah, like a lot of the people that I knew that were Mexican, they were like, no, fucking Speedy Gonzalez all the way. They would like literally make the noises Speedy would make, like, and like run and like Jesus. So.
Okay. What can you do? I mean, what? Let's say, what Korean? I mean, what were you offended by as a
Me?
Korean, as a Korean American?
I think
Thank you.
the funniest shit that people who say, oh God, I knew a dude who lived the Pepe life, and he's known as soft rape. Oh my God, we're going there. Fuck. Anyway, I would say sometimes people would say to me, "Oh, what ethnicity are you?" And then that would start off okay. I'm not really touchy about it. You know, people confuse me with Chinese or Japanese or whatever. I mean, you're not going to know. Like there are times I made a mistake. I thought there was this one dude who was Filipino, but he was actually Hispanic and Chinese, but he looked Filipino to me. You know. But I could see kind of why, and he wasn't offended. He was totally okay. And his name I thought was Filipino because sometimes Filipinos they have a Tagalog last name or a Spanish last name. So okay, fine. Sometimes they have a Chinese last name because there's a lot of Chinese in the Philippines. Anyway, I think what it was is that people came up to me and say, "Hey, what ethnicity are you?" It's like, yeah, I'm Korean. Or are you North or South? It's like, what do you think, fucking you dumbass? Like, really? Like, I mean, that's the only thing that would be probably borderline, but even then it doesn't bother me. I just kind of laugh because it's like, what kind of a stupid fucker are you kind of thing? I mean, it's not like that fake thing. Like, I just like, I don't care. I'm just like, are you trying to insult me? Because really you're really trying, and you try too hard. There's such a thing. So it's just like, oh, you're from the North. I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I found out my dad's family's from the North, but they left way before the whole Korean War started or at the start of the war. So they were never officially part of North Korea, like per se.
Well, I mean, there's some immigrants from North side. I mean, those who escaped from North, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, well, there's a regular people. I mean, I don't know the general public. Will they know that uh, North Korea they're not legally able to come to the United States like South Koreans can, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how well known is that? How well known is that?
Right.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
but then again, how many people know that Korea is divided by North and South?
Well, I mean, by now you should, or else your fucking history teacher's an idiot. But yeah, I mean, you also have the internet. So past a certain point, you're just like, like whatever, dude. It's like, but yeah, it's just like, I mean, just right now because of the internet, I know there's a lot of information, both good and bad on the internet, but I think you should know by now because you could take a quick look at Wikipedia, which killed Encyclopedia Britannica, but whatever. I'm just saying, like, you would at least have a general sense what's going on. So it's like, but I don't know. I mean, I've seen some crazy shit on the internet, so that's all I gotta say. Sometimes my friends send me the worst shit, and all of a sudden it's like, why am I seeing all these reels in here that really are something I would never click on, but because my friends would show me all this fucked up shit, somehow now my feed is all that. I'm like, yeah, I hate you now. Like, so yeah, but yeah.
What about you, K-pop? What offends you?
I don't really get offended, but I get offended uh, some things where I don't get included where I be in a group of stuff. It's like, okay, chill. But yeah, mostly I don't like getting harassed.
Oh yeah.
I'll like keep that away. Yeah, I'll take that.
Good luck
You
with
know.
the YouTube. I mean, the YouTube and the internet, K-pop.
No, I totally get her on that. It's not fun sometimes when you deal with shit
Yeah.
like that, because you're just like, all right, because it's I think people don't understand the psychology of it, and the messed up aspects of it, and it's kind of like there's this. It's kind of messed up because sometimes when you deal with it, it's sort of like, well, that's something you should deal with. It's like, I understand, but it's not something I have to tolerate, kind of thing. That's
Yeah.
bullshit. Yeah, so I know I hear you on that.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you definitely don't have to tolerate, and you don't have to tolerate all the time either.
no. It's
Yeah,
just it's one of those things. It's like I
you
totally
know.
get you on that. Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting because it's like when I do my cartoons, it's weird because the weird type of stuff I've gotten as a result. And it's funny because when I've done Demon Bitch, yeah, it's about shit I hate or people I hate, but I'll have random people come up to me and say, "You fucking drew me, you asshole." I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?" And they're going like, "Oh, 4 or 5 years ago, like blah 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 blah," and you drew me this and everything, and I just say to them, "Okay, I ran into 4 or 5 of you assholes already, so why?" And they're like, "Oh well, I'm angry because you didn't fucking single me out." I'm like, "Okay, so you want to be bullied, or are you mad that I'm apparently harassing you? Which one is it?" So I kind of have to develop a weird sense of humor about it as a coping mechanism, but it's not fun dealing with that too. It's like, and it's like weird because I've had some people come up to me at cons and they said, "I thought you'd be meaner. Like I kind of disappointed me," and I'm like, "I don't even know you. Why would I be an asshole?"
That happens. That happens. Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
weird, and in a way, it's like if you're starting to get known or starting to get some sort of visibility, it's kind of like this weird maladjusted way of like, oh, you're supposed to take it, or you're supposed to know that comes with the territory. It's like, I understand there's going to be some weirdos here, and I think the healthy way to deal with it is like, yeah, your face is more well known. You'll have a lot of wide range of really cool people, but at the same time, there will be slightly more on the perception of that you may run into not a wider proportion of assholes, but it just seems bigger because you're reaching a bigger audience, but it may be the same proportionate amount of assholes. Like you would, like, let's say, okay, out of 4 people, 3 are cool and one's a piece of shit, right? So
Yeah.
let's say if you run into six people, you run into 2 people that are pieces of shit. It doesn't mean that you're running into more people per se, but it's just, it seems to be a bigger slice of the proportional pie than what it really is. And, having dealt with that personally, it's like literally you kind of have to kind of have a healthier way of thinking about it compared to everybody else. And that's really hard to do because there's like that whole overwhelming peer pressure of, and I've had a therapist tell me like people really like gaslighting each other. And once you kind of realize that, you will go and you will kind of, I don't want to say reach a peaceful thing because I don't think it should ever be tolerated, but it's kind of you reach a certain healthy place where you're like, okay, these people are fucked up. This is not a healthy thing. This is not an okay thing. I will deal with it accordingly. And that's what keeps you sane and grounded. And it sucks because sometimes it does get pretty dark at times. So the East is a myth, like a non-hollow round Earth.
I don't understand that. So
The East is well, I mean, I don't know if it's like a myth. It's just it's a different region, but I think because we have had the globalization of internet and such, there you go on that. So it's like I think it's just because we have the internet now that kind of like before. Okay, for example, like when 10, 15 years ago when we had the Iraq war and the Afghanistan war, what did we have from the Middle East, from the West, right? We had either they were terrorists and bombing the shit out of each other or very rich. Now with TikTok, now with YouTube, now with Instagram, you have people from fucking Dubai showing what they're fucking doing. You have people from Lebanon, you have people from Qatar doing what they're doing. It's like, holy shit, it's a different world, but it's cool because they're doing their shit. It's like what I like about the internet is like people showing what they're doing all across the world. Not this, I mean, yeah, it's media kind of because it's social media, but it's like more of this thing of like, oh, I get to see what you fucking do. And this is what your perspective is. And it's awesome. And they like to also self-flagellate themselves, which is interesting. So that's interesting in itself. Like how us Westerners and Easterners like to go and self-flagellate ourselves. You have people from the Middle East like fucking laughing at their own shit and everything. And you're like, oh, okay. And you all get it. So it's kind of funny. So, I mean, as I said, it's been one of those deals. Falafel. Yeah, falafel's good if you do it right. I live in an area where they have really great Middle Eastern food. So it's funny. But it's like gotten to a place where I think people have kind of normalized each other in a good way rather than like having these big media outlets just go and just say whatever and create a certain narrative package. And I don't want to even say it like, oh, in this crypto fascist narrative package. It's just that it's more individualized now because people have their own individual accounts and we can look at them now. And I think that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think people realize either, but Abu Dhabi has one of the biggest Comic Cons.
Oh yeah, fucking they have the MEFCC. It's like Middle Eastern Film and Comic Con. There's that. Actually now Abu Dhabi is going to have Disneyland now. Imagine how fucking insane that would be.
Yeah, Bernard goes to the Abu Dhabi one pretty much every year for the con. It's really interesting to see the pictures and stuff come out of there. But I think it's quite fascinating too how like comics and art, it just kind of reaches everybody across the globe, which is amazing. Well, and I think that's one of the things too. Like it's one of the things that you don't even need language for. You can just appreciate something and just look for it as like the art that it is.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people from the Middle East, like especially from the UAE, Saudi, and all that, a lot of them will actually have American accents. And the reason being, and I know a couple people that that are Emirati personally and everything. And I asked, oh, how come you have an American accent? And they said, oh, I was raised on American media. So we've subvert fucking everybody. So we got everything in the bag there. Like they love our media over there. Like the reason why comics are now a big thing in the Emirates is that a prince really liked American media, especially film and comics. He created a government division for it.
Yeah.
When you guys say comic, just a comic, or does that include like manga and anime and all that?
I'm just generalizing all of it. It's art.
Yeah, yeah. And like the thing is like I know some of the people personally that work in that comics area, the comics division over in those areas in the area of the world. It's like literally they take styles from everything because they've consumed so much of it. You know, it's consuming a ton of it. It's like let me see. It's like kind of consuming a lot of it. Like they've watched like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to Transformers to Naruto. It's like all over. So when you look at least from the Emirati standpoint, and I'm just only going from that because I know them. I know some people there better, but they take a lot of styles. And the thing is, a lot of times they'll ask people from different areas like that of the country, like the Philippines, Asia, America, Europe, to come. Because how Europeans view comics is very different. It's like a very elevated art form, whereas in American comics, it only very recently became a big art form. Like before, it was just a throwaway bullshit thing.
Yeah, that's a kid's thing. Yeah,
yeah. But now it's like even then they go back and say, oh, these are classics and stuff. So now we're appreciating it as an art form. So that's what's good. They're appreciating it as an art form. So they're on that. So it's like, and then Japan and the Philippines, they have their own art styles too. So they import it. So it's kind of amalgamation of everything.
Yeah, Carl was telling us the other day on our first AAPI, you know, they used to throw away all this original art.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I was there. Yeah, Carl. Like, yeah, we were
yeah,
there.
yeah. You're there. Yeah. So yeah, they're just throwing away arts, and now we're going. Man, we'd be willing to pay $1,000 for those. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right, right. So yeah, no, I get you on that. Yeah, it's like it's changed now. Like when I used to draw comics as a kid and when I was younger, my parents were like, "Why the fuck are you doing that? Just go be this fine artist type thing or whatever." I mean, they didn't really say fuck or something. That's just my vernacular, but it was kind of like, okay, like go get like why don't you do something like a real job? And even though like I have interests in health and all that, like health and science and all that, my first love is art and creating. So it's sort of one of those things that just well round me, I guess.
yeah.
But I guess they kind of accept it now that I do what I do.
You know those cuss words you talk about. Those are not cuss words to Koreans. You know, like when we say shit. Even why would you want to call anybody shit? It's just a kids. You know, none of these make sense as a none. Oh, you know, F. Why is that a curse word? Why is it something nice to do? You know.
Well, I mean, it's like funny because like sometimes people would
No,
just say Teshka or something. So I would ask like my mom what that meant, and I said, "Does that mean little shit?" She said, "I would never call you a little shit. What are you talking about?" But then I asked my dad. He said, "That's a really bad word," and he wouldn't tell me. I'm like, "Come on!" Like I'm 20 at this point. I'm like, "Okay, come on, tell me what."
What I'm saying is that when they curse at you, they have a lot of bad things in their mind than the things we say here.
Like I've noticed with Korean words, like there's this one that one of my cousins said to me was is that there's one that's really fucked up if you say you really hate somebody. They literally that phrase, and I forgot how it is in Korean. I tried to remember it, but my Korean is shit. It's like I will beat you to death like a dog on a hot day. I would you know that one, NammaN?
What?
I will beat you to death like a dog on a hot day.
Oh,
I heard
okay.
that was a phrase. I don't know.
Okay. Well, those of you who love dogs, and those Korean people that love dogs nowadays, back in old days, we used to eat dogs meat, dog meat,
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be good for viral, but
yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
well, uh, is dog eating dog meat during the hot summer day is a good thing. Now, is supposed to be bare. That's what you need during hot days. Another
Mhm.
thing is that when you're butchering the dog, before you butcher him,
You have
you
to
have
do
to
some really
beat him up.
awful. Yeah, you have to do
You have
some
to
really
beat him
awful
up
things to
in
it.
a
Yeah,
hot summer day with the wrapped up in this. It's a
yeah.
horrible thing to do a dog, and um, yeah, that and
It's the
then it's supposed to
yeah,
be better for the. And so when someone say, "I'm gonna beat you up on a dog in hot," that's just it's
yeah.
a
That means they
horrible,
fucking can't
horrible
stand you or something.
thing.
No, I forgot how to say it in Korean, but it's like one of the most hateful things I think that I've been told that you can say to somebody in Korean. It's like I will beat you to death like on a dog a hot whale. Oh my god, this dude says sounds like my mother's lullaby. I'm like, we're getting dark here. I'm sorry, guys. That was not intentional,
Well,
but
there's a lullaby. Isn't the lullaby song has a baby? Dropping the baby off.
oh yeah, like rockabye baby on the
Yeah,
treetop
yeah,
when the wind
yeah,
blows, the cradle will drop. When the wind blows, the cradle will fall. Down will come baby. I forgot what that's of. There's another dark one called Ring Around the Rosie.
oh yeah.
That
There's
was
a lot
because
of dark things around children's things. Yeah.
yeah, like when you really like find out about the Black Plague back in the day, the plague doctor masks, the ones with the
Mhm.
big crow's beak, or the big beak, they would actually burn aromatic herbs and let it go back up there, and because they thought bad air created. That's why they have malaria. They thought malaria was caused by bad air and stagnant things. So the thing is, they thought a lot of disease would start with that. So back to in the days, and they didn't have one black plague; they have many in Europe. You find out later on, which is pretty fucked up. But they had this one where it was like a pocket full of posies. So you would actually carry a bouquet of them to keep from getting sick. But ashes is because they would burn the bodies because you would die horribly because it was highly contagious. So there you go. We're going in the like death, awful murder scare part of the show. I am very sorry. I would like to apologize in advance for making everybody feel down today, but
I'm not looking forward to AI finding us a clip on this, this video.
God, we're talking about the darker shit of this, and I didn't even come on with it.
We'll talk about some happy stuff.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm that person that tackles it head on. I don't know, but it's like
Another one is really bad is Korean say 싸가지 없어. 싸가지 없어. You ever heard that one? 싸가지가 없네.
what's that one?
싸가지 없네 means you don't have it. 싸가지 means you say tree. When the tree is about to make another branch, it makes this little thing called, I don't know what you call it in English, but it's a little
The buds when they start to bloom.
But yeah.
So if it doesn't have that, it won't grow anymore. It will just stop growing.
Yeah.
So it's like 싸가지도 없네. That means you don't deserve to branch out. You should just die right there.
Well, I mean, half of Korea is Christian, so if you know the thing about Jesus and the fig tree, there you go.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I went there. But anyway, yeah, so there's that as well. So, but yeah, so
Korea is actually a pretty diverse religion-wise.
yeah.
You got 1/3 Buddhism,
Oh.
1/3 folk religion, and 1/3 Christian. So that's
I thought it was half and half, like Buddhism and then Christian, and half of the Christians are Catholic and half of the Christians are.
well, that may be as well, but that's how they divided. They got 3 parts:
Oh.
the Christian, Buddhism, and the folklore religion, worshiping ancestors and things like that. So,
It's not what is it called again? Like the not the witches, like the woman.
Mudang. Yeah.
Like they basically do possessions. Like if you go and look at there's this Korean drama called The Glory, where this girl she was hideously abused by her mom and her schoolmates, and she had all these burns all over her. And she visits a mudang who actually dies because she actually sees one of the girl's ghosts there, and the woman's kind of a fake, but she mocks the spirit so much that they kill her on there. So it's like, if you kind of wonder why Koreans are like really morbid in their fucking K-dramas, you can see why from some elements of our culture. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. So yeah, but yeah, it's like Mudang is actually very interesting because like I've been looking into it because it's like from the Tangun religion, it's the off from the mountains. Like what it was is that story about the bear woman and the Prince of Heaven. So he comes down because he was told by the King of Heaven, go govern over Korea because they need a king. He said, all right, Dad, fine. So a tiger and a bear come up to him saying, we want to be human. He said, okay, spend about 90 days in this cold, dark cave. You don't fucking do anything.
Except for garlic.
Garlic and wormwood.
Garlic.
Yeah, you just eat garlic. And that, like the tiger ran out. He's like, fuck it. We don't want to be human. But the bear basically stayed. And the bear became a woman. She became a beautiful woman. And the guy married her. And then they had a son named Tangun, I think that's how you say it. So he ruled over Korea for 1,000 years. He's this fucking guy. Like he just rules over Korea for 1,000 years. And then he fucks off into the mountains. And there's a religion based on him. I'm going to fuck off into these mountains.
That's the origin story of Korea. That's the origin story. That's Korean origin story. So
was that the one that they had the 4, was it 4 kingdoms? There's Goryeo,
Baekje, Silla. That's 3 kingdoms.
Yeah, three kingdoms, right?
Yeah.
So Korea before, like China at one point, before it was united, there was 3 kingdoms. So, and I think Goryeo eventually won out. I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because they said, "Oh, the Korean Empire," and I started laughing my ass off. I'm like, "What fucking empire?" Now it's like, "Oh, the Emperor of Japan." It's like they don't fucking have shit either. We kind of got rid of all that shit. Like, I mean, if there's
Well,
anybody that,
Japan's a little bit bigger than us.
yeah, but they don't have shit. That's the thing. Now it's like we're an emperor now. I'm like, of what?
Well, I mean, Korea got invaded by Genghis Khan.
Yeah,
We got conquered. Japan didn't.
yeah, and then
Japan survived the story to that. You know what kamikaze is?
oh yeah, the
Yes.
yeah kamikaze. Yeah,
It means a great wind. Kamikaze means great wind,
Mhm.
and divine wind. Divine
Yeah,
wind.
yeah.
What happened was when Genghis Khan was conquering all of Asia, he came to Korea. He conquered Korea too,
Mhm.
and he took Korean soldiers, most of the Korean soldiers,
Mhm.
and took fleets of because hey, there's Japan over there. We need to conquer that too, right?
Yeah,
Well, they took 7 fleets of these. I mean, once they landed, Japan was going to be taken over. There's no doubt about that.
right.
Well, the typhoon came,
Mm. I think I heard of this one.
and typhoon came and just wiped them out,
Mm.
and so they had to retreat. Well, Kublai Khan is like a fourth grandson of Genghis Khan. He
Mm.
goes, my granddad conquered everybody. I didn't make a legacy for myself, so he wasn't able to conquer Japan. So he he formed up poor Koreans. We became these soldiers. We got recruited,
You know
and
now why we're pissed off all the time.
we took these guys over. Guess what? Same win happened at exact same moment and wiped out Kublai Khan's army. So ever since then, Japan believed that their motherland can never be touched, and because of the divine wind, and that's why they named their kamikaze the pilots kamikaze because
Yes.
they are supposed to be the protector of the the motherland, the divine wind. But well, the other kind of divine wind took them down, didn't it? I mean,
Well, there were a lot of things that happened that day. But oh, by the way, I
I'm,
have
I'm talking about nuclear bomb because of nuclear bomb wind caused a great wind. So
oh yeah, there's that. It's like also there's another thing too. You know, part two because you had I wasn't going to talk about this, but I think I had to add that onto another humor level of the shit cake that we've just created at this point. Um, what the thing is that also you know how you said the precancerous tumor, right?
uh-huh.
You know how you had that clip, and I
Uh-huh.
saw that and I started laughing, and now we're talking about dark subjects again. Okay, I have another part two of my medical thing.
Oh,
Recently, I got a lipoma removed from my neck. I got something.
thyroid cancer.
What?
Thyroid cancer.
No, no, it wasn't. I made sure of that. No,
Oh, okay.
it was a lipoma. It's a fatty tumor, so it was pressing on everything, and like it you couldn't really see it, but it was like hurting. So I had to go to the doctor, and they had to cut it out of my neck. I mean,
Oh
it's
my goodness.
minor. It was a local, but it was really
Not
funny because.
is it dormant or is it what?
Oh no, it wasn't cancerous at all. Lipomas are
Mhm.
like 99.9% non-cancerous. I just
Yeah.
figured since we did the pre-cancer thing. This is part two. This is the non-cancer thing. We had to take a fatty tumor out.
Yeah.
And so, but they did test it. It was kind of funny because after they took it out, they showed me it looked like a rubber disc, right? With like gristle around
Yeah.
it. I said, okay.
Chicken fat or something. Yeah.
Yeah, like she showed me. And then, oh, this is even funnier because like it gets even more fucked up. So it's like, so they give me this, they basically preserve it. I'm like, okay. They said, here, you take it to the lab. I'm like, why are you having me? Because usually, like, they'll take it to the lab, they'll ship it.
Yeah.
They just gave it to me, and I'm like, okay. So I tried to drop it off at one of them, and they were all closed. So I had to make an appointment for them. So I have this fucking jar of this my tumor and my lipoma in a fucking like formalin jar. And I tried to take a picture. I wanted to take a picture, but when she showed it to me, I already had my neck cut open. I'm like, oh, okay. I couldn't use my phone because like It's right here. And then the whole
You
time,
must not need to take the picture.
yeah, and it's like also she was like the thing is also what's weird is like when she's injecting a local in your neck, and even though if you don't want to hear it, it like stretches and moves it around. So it's like that's the weird part. She's like, oh, you're gonna feel a pinch and a burn. I'm like, this is the weirdest thing of the needle like moving around in my skin on my neck. And then while she's cutting in, like you can kind of feel it, but you don't. But because you're just lying there and like, I know she's actually slicing my neck open with a blade. Somehow I should be more disturbed. And then I could feel her kind of moving around and tugging and stuff on there. So I mean, there's that, but it's kind of funny. Okay, so I'm waiting next day to drop this off at the lab. I figured I have to put another gross medical story because the first one had part two. So one of my friends who's Filipino, because we would talk about all sorts of things from the Philippines, like, and then we talk all sorts. Now we are talking about Johnny Somali versus Vitaly. Now the two asshole nuisance streamers, how they're being held, and Chicken Fat and Fatty Tumor. You guys are hitting all my family nicknames. Great family. Anyway, so my friend's who's Filipino. The moment I tell him, he just says, "Oh, did you cook it?" And I said, "I'm sorry. I know the Philippines has like cannibalistic tribes, but no, I didn't." Because they're all fucking with each other that way. No, I mean, I think they still do, but they don't practice it anymore. Or like the members did it like since World War II. But yeah, I said, I know you come from an island full of cannibalistic tribes, but no, I did not cook it. I have to drop this off in the lab. I think it's preserved in formaldehyde, so I don't think I could eat it. And I'm like,
no,
it's
you
not
don't want that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So
we're glad that your casting get hold of it.
Cancer tried again and it failed. But yeah, it's one of those things. I think I had to have a part 2 gross medical story now to follow up with part 1.
Well,
That'll be the clip from this stream.
Oh yeah, here, chicken fat, and I know your country has cannibalistic tribes, and I like sound like the most assholes.
No, let's not put that out there.
Did they refrigerate your thing? No, they didn't. It was a cold day, so I didn't really have to do it. They put it in formalin. I just had to turn it in, and they were like, "Why do you have to turn it in?" I'm like, "I don't know. They just gave it to me. Here it is." You know,
That's so
like,
strange.
oh, okay. You know, it's like, so yeah.
They didn't make you refrigerate it? That's a good point.
They didn't tell me to do it. They just said, just take it and put it over there. I'm like,
it's a specimen, so we really just need as long as it's in the jar with the formaldehyde stuff in it, it'll be fine.
Oh, formaldehyde. Okay, I see.
Yeah. So it's like one of those things. It's like, I mean, it was a cold day, so I didn't think I needed to worry. But here I have this fucking formalin jar with my tumor in it, like fucking in my purse, so I wouldn't forget it the next day. I'm like, I just said, this is somehow wrong. Like it's actually like in my purse, like in a plastic bag with a corner. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now it's like I kind of touch my neck now. It's like the surgeon did a good job, but it's like it feels all lumpy because it's still swollen from last week. But it's like kind of funny actually. So I think I just have to laugh at stuff like that. So it's like, well,
it's really funny because this AI program on this restream, it'll make up a little story. It'll make up the title.
right.
So I'm wondering what it's going to make up about the title on this.
Tumor part 2. I don't know. I had a tumor part 2. You know? I mean, the thing is that it wasn't like it was going to kill me because they did do an ultrasound and all that other stuff. And they did do a biopsy. They did like actually section it out and test it. So it was okay. But it's just funny because like I could actually feel it after a while. Like it was starting to like freeze up my shoulder. Like my shoulder would feel frozen and it would freeze. Like it actually made my neck feel all fucked up. And then it was like stiff.
It'll grow around like tendons and like nerves and stuff and really mess it up. That's what happened to my hair, this one hair. It really screwed up my wrist.
Yeah, it's like weird because lipomas themselves are not bad, but where they grow can fuck it up. Like it because they can and compress.
Yeah, it's squeezing around certain areas and pressing stuff, and like then some get huge. Have you seen like the giant ones are massive? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dr. Pimple Popper. I watch that shit, and they're like,
oh yeah.
Like that. But no, I knew a guy that it was in his bicep, the lipoma, but it was like it grew kind of so big or was compressing that it actually started pinching on a nerve in his arm. And he had to get it taken out. It wasn't because the thing itself was going to kill him, but what it was pressing against, it was going to hurt him permanently. So yeah, I mean, it's like it's one of those weird medical things like, okay, yeah, it's not going to kill you itself, but you have to get it removed because it's beginning to, like, you realize, like, I mean, any body part, but especially the neck, at least from my personal experience. I'm not going to speak for the wrists, but I can only imagine. But like for the neck, it was weird because you could barely see it, but I could feel it kind of pushing apart things. My neck was kind of like really stiff. Like this is better. Because before I would be kind of like stiff and I was like, oh, and people say, oh, that's because you're getting older. Next time I hear somebody say that that's because you're getting older, I will seriously smack them somehow because I have
Okay,
one.
see, there you go. There's another thing that offends you.
Yeah, no. The thing is that here's the thing with my tumor, I was getting tired and I was having like ups and downs and moods and stuff. Not like I had bipolar episodes. I'm not saying that, but it's like up and down, up and down. Like literally, I would feel really sick and then I'd be okay. Really, like it was weird and it would fluctuate. And people just say, "Well, you're getting older. You're getting tired. Things change. That's why you gain weight." I find I have a fucking 6-inch tumor. Fuck you. I'm not taking that. Oh, you're tired and you're getting older because you're getting older. No, it's because I have something wrong with me, asshole. And like with my neck, it's like, oh, why is my neck stiff? Oh, you're getting older. No, I have a lipoma in there impinging. Thanks very much. You know, I wouldn't have known, but like when I went in for a cold, I had a cold and I kind of like it wasn't going away after a week. So when the urgent care doctor looked at it, she said, "Oh, you have a lipoma here." I'm like, "What?" I wouldn't have noticed. It was really slight. It wasn't like the Dr. Pimple Popper where people had 20 years and like. So they that's when they did an ultrasound. I'm okay in the thyroid. I'm fine. But when they took it out, they did the fucking analysis. There's absolutely no cancer, nothing. But I decided to just do part 2 of my tumor journey. I had a lipoma. And here we go. I mean, it's just like I don't know. Yeah, it's like, oh, you had a lipoma. It's like that's great, you know. So they just removed the lipoma and shit, and that's it. So that was my tumor journey part 2. So I figured I'd go ahead and add another level.
The tumor journey part 3 next year.
I don't want to have anything out of my neck.
No more medical journeys.
No, I don't want to have it anywhere else. Don't take anything out of my ass, literally. Like I literally. I mean, I already have a scar from my abdomen. I don't need another scar.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
we're good. We're good on the medical journey stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
No more. Yeah, I don't want to have another. I haven't died and came back.
I mean,
I
think we've all had like medical journeys here that gimped us out in some way or another. I think we can all attest to that. Like it's like, oh yeah, we had this, we had that. It's kind of messed up.
All right, it's getting late for me. K-pop. What we got coming up? And
tomorrow we have the Monkey King event. That's tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. It'll be Jerry Ma, Shanchan, Bernard Chang. They have a month-long event where they're showcasing art of the Monkey King over in New York City. So if you guys want to hang with that, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. So good people.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. Me myself, I hope to join K-pop tomorrow, hopefully. And I'm gonna push this video through some AI filter and see what AI finds.
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, that's gonna be that'll be hilarious. Just figure out what it grabs and puts together. Yeah.
Oh God, man.
Yes. I know you can actually just make clips from YouTube, right? Just like go to the section that you want and make a clip.
Oh God. I mean, it's like, oh God, what else is it going to compile together? It seems like we.
I can't wait to see what happens with that. Yeah.
All right. What's going on? I know that you have some Kickstarters and that's coming up, but
yeah, I will be announcing it
happening
relatively soon. Again, it's like I was waiting kind of on the tariffs and the whole trade thing to kind of simmer down so that everybody could spend money. So it's like, I know it's like me, I'm not so affected because I actually have domestic product, but I know a lot of people don't. And it kind of has a mirroring effect. So that's why I've been kind of waiting for the right time. But hopefully in the next few months, I'll have an answer. But do sign up. I'm still adding to it. I'm still adjusting it. But the two main things that we're going to have is the 6th graphic novel and the omnibus.
Nice.
So there you are on that. So that will definitely be coming up this year, it looks like. I mean, that's what I'm aiming for. and then what we're going to do. And then I have other future events coming up. I know San Diego Comic-Con's a thing for me. There's a couple events lighting up that I'm looking at, so we'll see how it is. It's been a little chaotic for cons this year for everybody.
Yeah. There's some that are just on top of each other too. Like I don't know why they keep doing that on some places, but some are like the main cons are just that same weekend, which is insane. But
Right.
oh, what's up, Billy? You also got Asian Invasion. You're working on that too?
Yeah, I'm working on that. I'll do a release date later on about that when it's more cohesive together.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
All right. I think that covers it up. Thanks, ladies. Thank you. Love the time with you, ladies. And chat. Oh wow, we had like over 60 people on in the chat and the area. So
I guess
thanks for
I guess
by. Huh?
I guess they got here to hear some shit, so that's what they got today.
Yeah. You heard a lot about our tumors and stuff.
Part 2, damn, like part 2. Holy shit! I do not want a part 3. This is where it ends, you know.
Yeah.
And have a good night, everybody. Have a good night.
All right.